श्रीरामप्रियराज्ञिदेवी श्रीसीते मातर्नमस्तेऽस्तु जगतां सुजाते। श्रीरामप्रियराज्ञिदेवी श्रीसीते मातर्नमस्तेऽस्तु जगतां सुजाते। श्रीरामप्रियराज्ञिदेवी श्रीसीते मातर्नमस्तेऽस्तु जगतां सुजाते। रामप्रियराज्ञिदेवी श्रीसीते मातर्नमस्तेऽस्तु जगतां सुजाते। आदर्श सर्वो मम जो प्रतिष्ठित किया आपने सर्वदा द्वितीय अवधवासियों पे दिखाया न रोष। श्री राम प्रभु पे न देखा ही दोष। श्री राम प्रिय राज्ञिदेवी श्रीसीते मातर्नमस्तेऽस्तु जगतां सुजाते। श्रीरामप्रिय राज्ञिदेवी श्रीसीते मातर्नमस्तेऽस्तु जगतां सुजाते। क्षमा गुणधरा का धरा आपने जो चकित राक्षसी भी रहे देखती सो। श्री राम कथा में सीता चरित्र किया वाल्मीकि ने अति ही पवित्र। श्री राम प्रिय राज्ञिदेवी श्रीसीते मातर्नमस्तेऽस्तु जगतां सुजाते। श्रीरामप्रिय राज्ञिदेवी श्रीसीते मातर्नमस्तेऽस्तु जगतां सुजाते। श्रीराम सीता हृदय से अभिन्न रहे आप हम पे कृपालु प्रसन्न। करेंगे सदा आपका कीर्तिगान। देव प्रिय मधुर सिय राम ध्यान। श्रीराम प्रिय राज्ञिदेवी श्रीसीते मातर्नमस्तेऽस्तु जगतां सुजाते। श्रीराम वीरमारुति गंभीरमारुति वीरमारुति गंभीरमारुति वीरमारुति गंभीरमारुति वीरमारुति अति धीरमारुति वीरमारुति अति अति धीर मारुति अति धीर मारुति गीत मारुति संगीत मारुति गीत मारुति संगीत मारुति गीत मारुति संगीत मारुति गीत मारुति संगीत मारुति दूत मारुति रामदूत मारुति दूत मारुति रामदूत मारुति दूत मारुति रामदूत मारुति दूत मारुति रामदूत मारुति भक्त मारुति परम भक्त मारुति भक्त मारुति परम भक्त मारुति वित्त मारुति परम भक्त मारुति भक्त मारुति परम भक्त मारुति वीर मारुति गंभीर मारुति वीर मारुति गंभीर मारुति वीर मारुति गंभीर मारुति राम राम सीतापते दर्शय राम राम सीतापते दर्शय राम राम सीतापते दर्शय राम राम सीतापते दर्शय तव रूप मनोहर सुंदर 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 राम राम सीतापते दर्शय राम राम सीतापते दर्शय राम राम सीतापते श्रावय राम राम सीतापते श्रावय राम राम सीतापते श्रावय राम राम सीतापते श्रावय तव हीर कथा गुण मंदिर 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 राम राम सीतापते दर्शय राम राम सीतापते दर्शय राम राम सीतापते कारय राम राम सीतापते कारय राम राम सीतापते कारय राम राम सीतापते कारय तव सेवा सदा ही सादर 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 राम सेवा सदा ही सादर राम 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 सीतापते मां नय
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 तव साकेत धाम सत्वर
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 राम राम सीतापते दर्शय राम राम सीतापते श्रावय राम राम सीतापते
कारय राम राम सीतापते
मां नय दर्शय श्रावय कारय मां नय दर्शय।
सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय।
श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Hरि Om. Those of you joining us for the first time, in the packet you will find the Mangala Charan for this Ayodhya Kand. Chant that together. यस्यांगे च विभाति भूधरसुता देवापगामस्तके भाले बालविदुर्गले च गरलं यस्योरसि व्यालरा सोऽयं भूतिविभूषणसुरवर सर्वाधिपः सर्वदा सर्वगतः शिवः शशिनिभः श्रीशङ्कर पातु मां प्रसन्नतायां नगताभिषेकतः तथा नमं देव नवासदुःखतः मुखाम्बुज श्रीरघुनन्दनस्य मे सदास्तु सा मञ्जुलमङ्गलप्रदा नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथं Namami Ramam Raghuvamshanatham. So Hari Om everyone. I know some of us are joining now for first time. This is study group folks are here today, right? Balavihar, parents, wonderful. So we are seeing this portion coming from Sri Ramcharitmanas. This is that text composed by Goswami Tulsidas ji in the 16th century. And this is Ramayana told, see, Valmiki Ramayana is most famous, no? Those are verses in Sanskritam. And this Tulasi Ramayana, as we've been seeing, it is in Avadi. Avadi is the language spoken in Ayodhya, and it is very close to Hindi. In fact, if you go to some of those northern regions, UP, Bihar, you will see a lot of similarities in that language. And it was composed to be accessible for everyone. And that too put very beautifully to verse. So you can sing, there are many, probably thousands, definitely hundreds of different tunes people will sing, and it is very sweet to hear. And this portion comes from that text is split into 7 kandas, 7 portions, and the second portion is called as Ayodhya Kanda. And this is where Bhagavan Sri Rama goes from Ayodhya into the forest with Mother Sita and Lakshman ji. And in their travels, what happens? They come to the hermitage of Valmiki ji, the sage. And Bhagavan Sri Rama, they have a very beautiful meeting together. And at that time, Bhagavan Sri Rama asks, where can I stay for a little while with Sita and Lakshman? And now, Sage Valmiki ji, he's going to give a very interesting response. And before that even, we are going to see how Sage Valmiki ji sees Lord Rama. What is his vision? You know, he sees Bhagavan Sri Rama is very different from the way we normally will think. Because he is Mahamuni. He is greatest among the Munis, greatest among the Rishis, that vision. And then, after telling this to Bhagavan Sri Ram, then he will give 14, what is called the 14 different abodes, where Lord can stay. This is a great portion on bhakti. Very, very beautiful. But hidden in there also is all that supreme Advaita Vedanta, all of that philosophy actually is going to come today in these verses as well. This text has everything in it. You know? I remember as a kid, I had read that Willy Wonka story, you know? And in that, he's coming up with all different types of candies, different sweets and different ways to mix all of those things. So one of the things he has as prototype, he says, this, if you eat this, it is giving you a 7-course meal. And you try it, it'll start you from the appetizer, then to the entree, then to the dessert, everything you'll get just by chewing this one thing. I'm thinking, oh, that's interesting. So what imagination. This Ramcharitmanas has everything. You don't need to go anywhere. And what is interesting also is, you know, in Bhaja Govindam it says, Bhagavad Gita kinchit adhita. Sometimes we think we need to study so many different things and do a lot of different varieties. Sometimes the students will count also. I have done these many books. How many have you done? Ahaha, so few. You know, that abhimana comes there actually. It's quite funny. But this is one of those things. In fact, all you need is name of Ram. That one syllable, Ram. Or if you want to make it fancy, you can do 2 syllables, Rama. All we need actually. You know why? Quite interesting. Because some people think in order to know the ocean, you need to traverse the entire ocean. But if you take a cup of that ocean water, or even just a drop, that drop is representative of entire ocean. Or if you're cooking rice, I don't cook very often, but I know the theory. So theory is cooking the rice, and at least I have made rice, and that is just a joke. But if you want to find out, is it ready? Is it cooked? Do you need to test every grain of rice before you put it on the table? In fact, you just need to take one grain, you squeeze it a little bit, and you see, is it cooked all the way through? Is it soft? Then you know it's done. Like that. We don't need so many different things. If we can go fully into one thing, we will get it. That is why this tradition is so beautiful. Even I was thinking about this yesterday, that you can study Ramayana your whole life, many, many lifetimes. It'll still give you something new every time you hear it. I've been fortunate enough to hear this Ramayana from my teacher multiple times, but somehow when I've gotten this opportunity, so much joy is coming. It's never ending, infinite. Okay, so now part of this is we sing along with the chorus, not this part, but when you hear it, I'm going to demonstrate that. Just that name, please all sing. Now our teacher used to say that if someone else eats, our tummy does not get full. Oh, I feel so bad for you, you're feeling hungry. Well, look, you can watch me have my lunch. That can't help anyone, So if people on the mic, all lovely chorus singers, they're all singing, that doesn't help us. We need to sing. And then if we sing, we get that joy. Okay? So I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to keep it all to myself. So you all please join, okay? So this is just Naam. Okay? Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
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 Okay, we are on now this page. It is right after or right before 126. So you will see it is called as Chandas. It starts as Shruti Setu Palak. Are you seeing that? Right before that page. This is in the same tune as Shri Ramstuti. So you'll hear that. So just listen. Or you can sing along also. Shruti Setu Palak Ram Tum Jagadish Maya Janaki Jo Srijati Jagu Palati Harati Rukh Pai Kripa Nidhan Ki Jo Sahas Sisu Ahisu Mahidharu Lakhan Sachara Charadhani Surakaj Dhari Nar Raj Tanu Chali Dalan Khalan Sicharani Shri Ramchandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Darunam Navakanjalochana Kanja Mukhakara Kanja Pada Kanjarunam Shri Ramchandra Kripalu Bhajamana Siyavar Ramchandra Ki
Jai.
So, now, Lord Rama has asked this question, where can we stay for he says, Kachukala, for a little bit of time. And we saw yesterday, Kachukala means all of us are here on this earth for only little time. We think we have so much time. That's why we like to get calendar, and now you have Google Calendar, so you can schedule something 10 years in advance. Okay, oh, my retirement, I'm going to Fiji. I'm going to sit on the beach. All nice thoughts we have. But truth is, none of us know how much time we have. In fact, only Brahmaji knows. He writes that, they'll put, it is said, Brahmaji comes and writes that date on the forehead. If you go to the grocery store, on that packet, it'll say, when does it expire? All of us have some hidden expiration date. We just don't know. Kachu kala. So where can I stay for a little bit of time? And then, Sage Valmiki ji, he just gets so overjoyed to hear Bhagavan Sri Rama's sweet words. Okay, he says, "Sadhu, sadhu bole muni jnani." That muni who is a jnani, great knower of Brahman, he says, "Sadhu, sadhu, how wonderful you have said this." No, so lovely. And you who are the one who is upholding all the tenets of the Vedas. This doesn't mean that Bhagavan Sri Rama is like the traffic cop, making sure you're following Veda's rules. Not like that. Bhagavan is the upholder in that he is the law. He is the very law by which the universe operates. See, we think, this is why Hindus are very peaceful, because in other traditions, if we don't see what is called as justice, everybody gets so angry, Oh, justice was not served. Was justice served? That's why we like to watch all that Law and Order show. Actually, I used to really enjoy it. Objection. I always thought it would be fun to be a lawyer because then you get to shout that at people. So, this thought of justice. But this universe operates according to very specific laws. See, if you throw something up in the air, what happens? That thing falls down. It's not going to go to left or right. It's going to go straight down. What is that? Law of gravity. Law of motion. Sir Isaac Newton has those laws of motion, then Einstein, all of these. These are physical laws. There are also subtle laws. It's the same principle actually, that which is called as cause and effect. Law of karma is nothing but law of cause and effect actually, applied to subtle principle. Meaning if you have caused some harm to another being, that same harm, by law of cause and effect, is going to come back to me only. So Bhagavan, you are the one upholding all these laws of the Shruti, of the Vedas. Shruti setu palaka. Palaka means protector. Then Rama, Tuma, Jagadisa. You are Jagadisha, Lord of the universe himself. And who is Mother Sita who has come with you? Janaki. She is Maya. She is the very Maya. And what Maya is going to come now in the next line. Jo. Jo is Yaha in Sanskritam. Yaha becomes Jo in Avadhi. She is the one who Srijati, makes this universe manifest. Then Palati, who sustains it, protects it. And then Harati, she removes it also. This is Mother Sita. This is Muni's vision, huh? He sees so clearly. This Rama is Jagadisa. This Mother Sita is Maya. And she is the one who has made this entire universe come. And then what? Rukapai. How does she function? How does she make this universe come into being? Rukapai means on your command. She is there. She manifests everything, does everything. In fact, in that, now is Navaratri time. Everyone is celebrating also Devi as Saraswati, Lakshmi, Durga. It is said, all these different forms of God. The Shaktas will, in those scriptures, they will say, if you read Devi Mahima, it says, all this Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Mahesh, all these things that we worship, all forms of Devi actually. Because she is the one that gives things form. So, very beautiful. Then who else is there? So now we have Bhagavan Sri Rama, Mother Sita, Lakshmana also. So Lakshmana, who is Yaha, Lakshmana, that one who is Sahasisu, that 1,000-headed Ahisu. Ahisu is snake. And he is the one Mahidara, holding up this earth itself, this universe. He is the one who is bearing that. That one is Lakhan, this Lakshmana. And he is the one upholding all the Sachara-chara, those things which are moving and unmoving both. So now question can come, how come all three of them have same job description? Something is not adding up, Actually, if we think about it a little bit, it'll make sense. For example, say you have this mic here. Ask, what is the cause of this? What is the cause of this mic? So we say, cause of this mic is this company, Behringer, it says, okay? Behringer, that company, they are the ones who manufactured this mic, made it. So it's made out of that steel, okay? Steel, plastic. Now where did that steel come from? You say, it had to be taken out of the earth. So then whichever that machine that pulled it out of the earth and then they melted it in that, that flame, that is the cause then. Then you say, where did the steel come from? All the minerals were there and then they became compacted over time and then it became this ore. So then all those minerals are now the cause. So which is the cause? All of them at one time, just from different perspective. So also, this Sheshanag, then Mother Sita and Lord Rama, all of them are the ones upholding this entire universe given. Therefore, knowing this now, he's going to go on a little bit. He doesn't want to get to the answer right away. He says very nicely here. राम स्वरूप तुम्हारा बचन गोचर बुद्धि पर अविगत अकथ अपार नीति नीति निगमा कह सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Remember, this is Muni Jnani, who is knower of the ultimate vision, okay? He now says, Bhagavan Shri Ram, what is your nature? I'm going to tell now. Bhagavan, your Sarupa. Sarupa is Swarup. Your true nature, your absolute nature, Tumhara means your. Then Bachana Agochara. It cannot be said in any words. It is beyond the ken of speech. It is Buddhi Para. It is beyond all Buddhi, thought, conception. It is Abhigata. Abhigata means it is close to like Avyakta. It is not achievable. It is not visible, unseen. Akatha. It cannot be said, explained. Indescribable is given there. Then Apar. Par means shore. It is shoreless. Like ocean. When you're in the middle of the ocean, there's no shore like that. You're infinite meaning. In fact, all the Nigama means all of the Vedas, the scriptures, Shastra, what did they say? There's only one thing they can say about you, which is Neti Neti. Not this, not this. So incredible, huh? Think of the depth of thought it takes to describe the divine in this way. The only way you can describe is to say not this, not this. Meaning anything we can use words to point out and indicate. That is what words are for. It is said that Nama and Rupa, they are together. Always together. You cannot have one without the other. So you say, how about, what if I said, something. Something doesn't have a form. It has some form in the mind, actually. Something, you have some vague image in the mind. Even if it's a blob. That is also a form. So, anything that can be pointed out with words, that cannot be you. It is said to define God is to defile God. Meaning, it is beyond all of that. This is a very sophisticated, actually very deep philosophical point. Why is Bhagavan something which is agochara? Agochara means unattainable by the speech or by the intellect, by thoughts. Because that which is the source of the power of those things cannot see. Like for example, in one place it is given, what is the nature of Bhagavan? They give 3 different examples. Say, first is like the oil in the seed. Oil in the seed. Or like the fire in the wood. Or the pupil in the eye. And the pupil in the eye. Should not be or. And. So what is the nature of this Paramatma? Why is Paramatma described like the oil in the seed? Because the oil is there, but it has to be extracted. The oil pervades that entire seed, right? You cut open the seed, you don't see one drop of oil, but it is pervading that entire seed. And then if you press it, extract it, you will get the oil. So this example is to indicate the pervasiveness of the divine. It pervades all things. Then, fire in the wood. Fire is the potential in the wood that is unseen. Though it is there, you cannot see it with the senses. This is to indicate that that divine principle is unseen. It is not visible. And finally, the pupil in the eye. The pupil in the eye, such a beautiful example, is what we use to see everything. But the one thing you cannot see with the pupil is the pupil. Why did the Cyclops quit teaching? Do you know why? Because he had only one pupil. I always like that one. He had only one pupil, because Cyclops is the one being, he has only one eye. So he had only one pupil. So that pupil is what makes us see, and yet we cannot see. My teacher, he used to say, that flashlight is there, right? That flashlight, you use it to see everything else. But the one thing you cannot see in the light of the flashlight is the battery inside the flashlight. The battery is making the whole thing work. But it is unseen, because it is the power by which those things function. And this is pure Vedanta actually. In Kenopanishad it is said, Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha Kena prana prathama praiti yuktaha Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti. Says, by what, impelled by what, does the mind, Kena means by what? That's why it's called Kena Upanishad. And notice it's not named after any rishi, it's named after that thought. Impelled by what does the mind alight on its object? What makes the mind function? That is what it means. What makes the mind function? How does mind, if I say to everyone, right? Whatever you can think, anything you want, just don't think about a pink elephant. Everyone is thinking, don't think about a pink elephant. What is the power that makes the mind reach that? Then, Kena prana prathama praiti yuktaha. What makes the prana function? Chakshu, Shrotram. Chakshu is the eye, Shrotram is the ear. By what? Impelled. Kau devo yunakti. By what divine force? We think deva means God or deity. Deva also comes from the root div. Div means to shine. Meaning, what makes these functions shine? We call them devatas because they must be divine. So, think how deep the thought has to be. This is why, if you study that Sthita Prajna Lakshanas comes in Gita chapter 2, our study group is here, so they'll know. It says that Sthita Prajna, he has to be one who is withdrawn from all the senses, like the tortoise. You know why? Because if we're constantly worrying about what the senses are seeing, we cannot entertain such a subtle thought as what makes them function. We're always looking at getting so entranced by this form, that one. We never ask what makes them function. It's very, very deep, very subtle. And so, finally, only thing we can say is anything that can be pointed out through our 5 senses is not this divine. Neti, neti. You know what this means? Mind just has to become quiet. When the mind becomes quiet, then realization comes very easily. But to make the mind quiet, very hard. Very, very hard. Okay? So lovely. Now we will sing the next section. Please do follow along. It's very... Jagupe, hold on. Jagupe kan tuma dekh nihare.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Vidhi hari sambhuna chavanihare.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
तेऊ न जानहि मरम तुम्हारा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
और तुम्हि को जाननिहारा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
सो जानै जेहि देहु जनाई.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
जानत तुम्हि होई जाई.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
तुम्हारी कृपा तुम्हि रघुनंदन.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
जानहि भगत भगत उर चंदन.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
चिदानंदमय देह तुम्हारी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
विगत विकार जान अधिकारी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
नरतनु धरयु संत सुर काजा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
कहु करहु जस प्राकृत राजा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
राम देखी सुनी चरित तुम्हारे.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
जड़ मोहि बुध होई सुहारे.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
तुम जो कहु करहु सब साचा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
जस काचिय तस चाहिय नाचा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय रामा.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Okay. Then he continues. Jagu pekhan tuma dekha nihare. Dekha nihare. Says this jagu is jagat, this world is a pekhana. Pekhana is like a show, an empty show. You know, a spectacle is given there. It's like just this thing going on which is hollow inside. But who are you? You are the dekhanihare. You are the seer of this entire show. You know, this Maya, it is called illusion, right? In Sanskritam, a magician is called a Mayavi. What does the Mayavi do? What does the magician do? They make something appear to be there, even though it's not really there. But somehow between their actions and our senses, something appears there to us. It's the same thing. This whole world is like that. And who are you? You are the seer. Seer. In fact, you are the one who Bidhi, Hari, Sambhu, Nachavanihare. You are that absolute Parabrahma who makes even Brahmaji, Vishnu and Shiva dance. Dance. Why is it said like that? Because they are that Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh for different universe. But you are the one who is upholding all the countless universes. They are your nature only. You are Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, the one who is the leader for all Ananta Koti Brahmanda, meaning infinite universes. See, so much cosmology is here also. Now science is saying, oh, this universe, remember before they used to say universe is bounded. Now they're saying it is unbounded. Before they were saying Big Bang, that also has gone out with a bang. It's also out. So, all this cosmology, philosophy is here in our Shastra, which is saying what? This universe has no beginning, no end, because it is a reflection of that divine, which is also without beginning, without end. So how can universe then be having beginning or end? So for all of that, you are the one who is the seer of all of those things, okay? Then, Teyu na janahi maramu tumhara aur tumahi jo jananihara. This is so beautiful. Being like this, so unknowable, okay? No, not even Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva know your greatness. Therefore, how can anyone else come to know you? Okay? Oh my gosh, if they themselves did not get how, what about us? That question comes, right? Then next part is just so lovely. It answers this question. So who is the one that can know you? How is that possible? It says, So janai jehi dehu janai janata tumahi hoi jai. It says the only one that can come to know you, janai, is the one to whom you make yourself known to them. And your grace makes it possible for that one to know you. And how do that one come to know you? The moment you make yourself known, the moment he knows you, how does he know? He becomes one with you. That one becomes one with you. Why? It is connected to that previous line, which is this world is the show, you are the seer. Meaning that Lord is the eternal subject, never the object. And how can one know the subject? How do we know ourselves? We don't know ourselves as an object. We don't know ourselves the way you know a cup or a spoon or something. And once there was someone on the plane. He was sitting next to somebody. Okay? Now, that fellow, he's going to San Diego. He's saying, I'm going to San Diego. Then that fellow said, oh, you're going to San Diego? I also. Well, they're on the same plane, so they're going to the same place. He said, yes, I'm going to the university because I am going there to meet one professor. Oh, you're going to meet that professor. Okay, what is the name of that professor? I also work at the university. Maybe I know this person. He says, oh, I'm going to see Mr. Ramachandra. Now, do you know him? This fellow sitting there, he says, now he's in a bind. He is that Ramachandra. But how does he say, I don't know him like I know someone else in the faculty. I know him because he is me. So that which is making us at this very moment function, hear, listen, talk, think, that one, that is the Lord that is pervading us even at this moment. So how do we come to know them? When we know that Lord, we know it only as our own self. It's the only way to really know. Otherwise, there's always some level of separation. Anything we can know through our senses, it is temporary. That is why the way we know ourselves in what is called a beyond even pratyaksha. We know it as our anubhava, our own experience, constantly. I can't be anyone other than myself. So like that, whoever comes to, who you reveal, that person comes to know you. And how do they know you? They know you as their own, very own self. They become one with you, in fact. And how does this happen? By tumari kripa tumahi raghunandana. It is only by your grace, by your kripa. Have you ever had that experience where you're trying to, especially when we're studying for exams, we're trying to understand this idea, you've read it 1,000 times, it is still confusing, then suddenly somehow it makes sense. One moment you read it for the 20th, 50th time, that thing that never made any sense, suddenly it made sense. What makes that happen? Some magic ingredient. This is same. We can be reading, Shastra for a very long time, go to every class, hear everything, but there's some magic, that kripa that happens where it becomes, aha, now I understand. So, it is by your grace that this happens, and you know what you are like, Bhagavan Sri Ram, to that bhakta. Bhagata means bhakta. To that bhakta or devotee, you are known, or you comfort them, you are there in their heart like chandan. Chandana means like that fragrance of the chandana, you pervade the heart of all your devotees. Then, what does it say? Chidanandamaya deha tumhari. Your body, it is chidanandamaya. It is, our Chinmaya, Puja Gurudev was called as Chinmaya. Maya means suffused with. Chit. Chinmaya mission, we should not think, really, that name, it was all about that name of that person. No. Chinmaya was given because our Puja Gurudev was ever in this state. One with the self, operating from the highest perspective. So, Chidanandamaya, Chit and Ananda, consciousness and bliss, that in fact is your Deha, body. We think that Bhagavan, when Bhagavan takes avatar, his body is like ours. It's not like ours. It is that pure Chit, Ananda itself. How it happens, don't ask. It is magic. It just happens like that. Then it is bigata. Bigata means devoid of. All of the things our body is prone to. What is that? That which is made out of these pancha mahabhutas, these 5 great elements, they are subject to bikara. Bikara is vikara. The shat vikara. Everyone in study class knows. Asti jayate vardate viparinamate apakshiyate vinashyati. It's quite interesting, huh? I was thinking about this. Why these 6 are given? Because, first of all, what are the 6? Let me tell that first. Asti means existence, to appear there in the womb. Then jayate, to be born. Vardhate, that being then has to grow. Then viparinamate. Viparinamate means goes to change a little bit. Like when the boys, they finally start to get mustache. They say, I have mustache. You said, where? I didn't bring my magnifying glass. Viparinamate, change. Then apakshiyate, that means it starts to wane. Kshi means the body begins to wane. And finally, vinashyati, body goes. Now, why these 6 are given? Because they can be applied to any being. Tell which being does not go through these 6. Not the mustache thing, but the other. Even the seed or the plant, the bug. You have to study all that life cycle in school. All of them go through the same. This philosophy is therefore universal, because you can apply this principle to every being. They undergo these 6. So you are beyond these 6 changes. And in fact, who is the one that comes to know you in this way? Jana adhikari, one who is fit to know you, knows you in this way. Meaning, when they see your form, they don't get confused. Oh, is Lord Rama a man? Is he, avatara? That too. What is the nature? The knower knows. See, Valmiki ji is saying, I know. I know who you are. Then, that person, right, you have taken on this naratanu, you have taken on this form of a human being for what? Santa Surakaja. Not because you want to do it, but for the benefit of all the saints and sages, and for the suras, all the gods, for their sake. Now, we were seeing this yesterday. This doesn't mean Lord doesn't love everyone. But if you take care of the saints and sages, all the rest of the society is taken care of. You know? Like if you're ever growing something in the garden, if you spray that weed killer, once the weeds are gone, anything you can plant there, it's going to be okay. Unless it's so rocky that you can't grow anything. But if the soil is good, right, but there's a lot of weeds, you remove the weeds, then grass, whatever you want to grow will be fine. So also, in a society, if it is being choked by all of these durgunas, all negative traits, sadhus and santas, they cannot even survive in that society. Because human beings, thing we missed most is the thing we need the most, actually. There was a guard, and his job was to be there at the in that place where the cars are coming out, making sure everybody is coming. So he got one warning, there's some thief that has been operating in all these car parks. You please be careful, check, make sure that this thief does not come there. So he's watching everybody, and this fellow was coming. He said, wait, stop. Let me check the trunk. He said, yeah, no problem. Check the trunk, empty. Went. Next day also he's coming back. He said, let me check again. He's being very thorough. He checks. No, it's not. Okay, go. Third day also. Then finally his supervisor says, what are you doing? You haven't been checking for this thief. He said, I've been checking every time. He said, that fellow has stolen 3 cars. What have you been looking? The thing that is most obvious we easily miss, actually. But one who knows properly, adhikari, they will not miss. Okay? They know. And you have taken on this form, all these Santa Mahatmas, they are the ones, you are protecting them. For their sake, you have taken on this birth, subjecting yourself to so much hardship also for their benefit, all, out of your compassion. Then he says what? Kahu karahu jasa prakrita raja. You have taken on this semblance of prakrita here means as a very ordinary raja, king, you who are the Parabrahma. And you're even speaking and acting like what that king will do. And we can think, in the next line it says, Rama deki suni charita tumhare jada mohahi buddha hoi sukhare. This form that you have taken, when people see, oh, this Rama has come there, and Suni Charita, when they hear all of your exploits, all of your great leelas, the stories of yours, guess what happens? One who is jada or very foolish, they get more confused. Oh, how has he come here? What is happening? How can someone be avatara but also be omnipresent? How is Lord both formless and taking form? It confuses us more, actually. Because why? Our mind is still very gross. It needs to develop. Then all these doubts get cleared. But one who is Buddha means knowledgeable, wise, enlightened. That person, when they hear all your stories, they become sukhare. They get great joy from them. Because they're reveling in that. They're reveling in this, how you are playing this leela, and at the same time, beyond all the leela, they enjoy it. When we're a kid, I remember being small and going to see that Beauty and the Beast. When you're small, you think the screen, what is happening is real. So the beast comes, I got scared. But one who knows that it's a film, they enjoy it. They are enjoying that drama, everything that is happening. So then, Tuma jo kahu karahu saba sacha jasaka chiya tasa chahiya nacha. All that you say and do, it is the truth. You are setting that example for all, right? Then, why jasa kachiya tasa chahiya nacha? Whatever jasa kachiya, whatever role one has taken up in the play, one has to do their role. So you have taken up the role of this prince and you are fulfilling it perfectly. Earlier on in this same Ramcharitmanas, it comes about because Mother Parvati, in her previous incarnation, she was Sati. And Sati got this doubt, actually. She said, this Lord Rama is Lord of the universe, but he's crying after missing his wife. Is this possible? How can this be possible? That doubt was there. So then she has to in fact, take on she has to go through a lot of tapas as Mother Parvati. She is reborn as Mother Parvati. She undergoes plenty of tapas, and then she is ready to listen to that katha, and all her doubts also get cleared. But this mind really plays tricks on us, right? We can easily get puzzled. So, but when one has taken that role, Lord Rama is playing the role. Mother Sita goes, he must show and look for her and all these things. Because why? He's setting the example for all of us to follow. The kids were doing one play, and it was Ramayana play. And, in many places they do what is called Ram Leela. So they will do all the natak of the Ramayana. Kids will do it. It's actually very, very cute if you've ever seen the children and everyone do. So in that day, it was the Bali and Sugriva fight was going on. So Bali and Sugriva are fighting on that stage. And every night they've been doing this Ram Leela. They've been doing the same play for 5, 6, 7 nights. So now Bali and Sugriva get there. And Lord Rama shoots the arrow and hits that Bali. And now Bali is supposed to die. But he doesn't want to die. He stands there. Then from off the stage, the director is going, hey, die. So why? Every night I'm dying. This time let Sugriva die. Why should I have to die this time? You have to follow the rules you have to follow the lines in the script, You can't go off book like that. People get confused. Oh, this is some new interpretation. These days, all new interpretation is given. If they're doing new interpretations, they mean they really haven't understood the purpose of the story. So we also should not get too mixed up in those things. Because then the whole purpose is, look, Bali has to go. Bali also doesn't care. At the end, he says, Bhagavan, Lord Rama asks him actually in this Ramcharitmanas, Bali, I can heal you. I can give you back this kingdom. You have repented at the end, He said, no. When my eyes are seeing you and I'm going to leave this body, what worth is this body after seeing you? Bhagavan, please, that I don't want anything. Bali doesn't have a problem. We only get the problem because we identify with that role. I don't want to die. You should die. I just thought that was funny. Okay. So we'll see this doha. पूजहु मोहि की रहु कहो मैं पूजत सकुचाऊ श्री राम जहाँ न होई तह देखहु ही जहाँ न होई तह देह कही तुम ही देखाव उठाओ सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. So then he says, right? Pochayu mohi ki rahayu says, you ask, where should I take up, you have asked me where you should take up your residence, okay? But mai puchat sakuch hau. I have little hesitancy. I feel a little shy because why? I hesitate to ask you something. And Guruji has said this so beautifully, He says, when someone asks us a question, we're supposed to give some kind of answer. We shouldn't respond to them with another question. Like if someone says, do you love me? He's like, you don't think I love you? Will you help me do this job? Why, have I never finished the job for you? We should not answer a question with another question. It makes us sound shady, actually. It makes us sound a little fishy. What's going on? So, Sage Valmiki Ji is saying, you have asked me this question, you are the Lord, and I feel a little shy, but I must ask this question of you. You have asked where you should take up residence. But first, jahan na ho tahan dehu kahi. Please, Dehu, show me where you are not there. Where are you not there? Tumahi dekha uthao. If you can tell me where you are not there, then I can show you where you should reside. This is what is called a redundant question. There is actually no way to show where the Lord is not there. Yeah? It's illustrative, actually. It's just illustrating. You know, it is said that the jnani, for them, this entire universe is sar, meaning it has that rasa, it has that great sweetness, because it is all that divine principle only. They are reveling in that all the time. Nandati, nandati, nandatyeva is given in Bhajagovindam. They are always reveling. This is the jnani. Then the vairagi, for them, this entire world is asara. There's no flavor for that vairagi who is striving to reach. And if you have no jnana, knowledge, and if you have no vairagya, you are samsari. Then you will definitely be saying sorry. That's why it was given. So, all the Mahatmas have said this, you know. Therefore, this is the vision of Sage Valmiki ji. That is why we needed all this preamble. Those of you who are joining us first day, in fact, we have not even gotten to the 14 houses yet. Why? Because we should understand this is that vision with which now these bhuvanas are going to be spoken. Therefore, show me where you are not. Then I can show you very nice, suitable place for you to stay. Okay. First, show that to me. Then, on hearing this, what is Bhagavan Sri Rama's response? And then how Sage Valmiki ji continues, we're going to see. Suni muni bachana prema rasa sali
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Sakuchi Rama mana manu musukani
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Sakuchi Rama mana mahu musukani
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Valmiki hasi kahi bahori
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Bani madhura amiya rasabori
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Sunahu Rama ab kaho niketa
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Jahan basu siya lakhan sameta
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Jinke shravan samudra samana
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Katha tumhari subhag sarinana
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Barahi nirantara hoi na pure
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Tinake hiya tumake hiya
Kahu Griharure Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Lochana chatak jina kari rakhe
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Rahi daras jaladhar abhilashe
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Nidarahi sarita sindhu sarabhari
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama
Rupa bindu jala ho दासहु बन्धु सिय सह रघुनायक
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
So then, what was Bhagavan Shri Rama's response? So interesting, he says, Suni Muni Bachana Prema Rasa Sane. Suni, hearing the words of the Muni, Bachana of the Muni, that was Prema Rasa Sane. Sane means mixed, or here it means suffused with. Prema Rasa, all that supreme love, very loving words he said, Prema Rasa Sane. Then Sakuchi Rama Mana Mahu Musukani. Mana Mahu Musukani. So, first Rama was Sakuchi. That same word came Sakuchao, right? It's the same, that he was abashed or little embarrassed, hesitant, all these things. Why? Because Lord is so humble, modest. One should not want to listen to one's own praise. In fact, that is most poisonous thing for us. It's very interesting in the episode where Hanumanji comes back after finding Mother Sita. And he comes there and falls at Bhagavan Shri Rama's feet. Lord Rama lifts him up, hugs him, crying, saying, "Oh Hanuman, you have done me a service that none other could do. I am so in debt to you more than anyone." And at that moment, Hanumanji falls again at Lord Rama's feet and cries and says, "Please, whatever you do, don't praise." Because that praise itself, meaning it is so, it takes us away from that divine, because it increases this sense that this body, mind, intellect, that this is us, So all of this idea of separation is there. So that is very dangerous. So we should not like to listen to our own praise, even though that is what sounds most nice to us. But for those of us spiritual path, it is very good not have that. Then, so Rama, Sakuchi, he was being very kind of, demurring, as they say, very hesitant. But in that, knowing the status of Valmiki ji, his knowledge, mana musukahe, meaning he was smiling in the mind, right? Smiling in the mind. Then, Valmiki hasi. Seeing all of this, seeing Lord Rama's demeanor, all of these things, Valmiki ji laughed and said the following words. Again, he spoke these words which were madhura, so sweet, bani madhura, sweet speech, and amiya rasa. Amiya is amrita. It was steeped in that nectar, divine nectar. It was that sweet. Okay? Now, one thing, why does Valmiki ji laugh? Because, see, in that previous one we saw, "Oh Lord Rama, you have only taken up this role. You are that Anantakoti Brahmanda Nayaka who is making even Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva dance. I am also your puppet. You are making me dance also. So you are asking me this question, then you are making this puppet give an answer, or actually first ask you a question in return, then you are prompting me to give answer. In fact, you are prompting me to laugh also." So it's all in joy for him to see it from that perspective. So that is why Valmiki ji laughs here and then says, "Sunahu Rama kahu niketa," says, "I will tell you now." Now is beginning 14 houses. He says, "I will tell you where you can make your niketa." Niketa means your home, abode. And you have to, that Chaupai 2 and 3, you have to put them together to get the first, that idea. Because where should you live? It is given in that next one, the second pada of Chaupai 3. It says, "Tina ke hiya." Hiya is hridaya. Tina ke, in the hearts of those who are in like this. In such hearts, you can make your griha rure, your beautiful griha, home. Whose hearts? First, actually, before we even get to whose hearts, I will tell you something, huh? There are a few different, see, even now we cannot get straight into it. Few different things about these 14 houses. In one place it is given that there are 7 kandas, right? So these 14 houses, they represent each 2 can be found in each kanda. And that too, the first half of Balakanda is the first one. Second half of Balakanda will be the second one. We have to do some research and find out how exactly this happens. But it is said those 14 correspond to those 7 kandas as one. And when Valmiki ji gives here, Jaham Basaho Siya Lakhana Sameta, where you can stay accompanied by Sita and Lakshmana. Sita is Sarva Shreyas Karim Sitam. That Sita who is the abode of all Shreya, joy, prosperity. Meaning that Rama, those 3 of them can also represent Bhakta, should be with all beautiful qualities, all beautiful gunas like Mother Sita, and that Bhakta Ram represents Bhakta, also accompanied by Lakshmana. Lakshmana represents Vairagya. So that is where Ram should dwell. Okay? An interesting thing about Vairagya is common amongst every path. That is the one thing. You cannot be the great Bhakta, you cannot be great Karma Yogi, you cannot be great nothing without Vairagya. Vairagya is very, very important. Therefore, accompanied by them. And then it says, okay, so whose hearts, now this is so nice, it says, Jinake Shavana Samudra Samana. Those whose Shavana ears are like the Samudra, ocean, equal to an ocean. And ocean, if we know, it is, how is it? Barahi Nirantara, Hoina Pure. It is Barahi Nirantara. Nirantara means eternally being filled by so many rivers. And not just for, even at any one single moment. There's not even, I don't know what the measurement is of water flowing into the ocean at any given time. And that too, millions of years the ocean is receiving all this water, right? But Hoina Pure, but never ocean gets filled. So those who have ears that are like the ocean, which is taking in all of these different sources of water and never gets filled. So what do they never get filled by? Katha tumhari, your stories. One whose heart is like ocean, whose ears are like the ocean, they never get filled hearing your katha. Now this one, I'll give at least for of the correspondences, I know at least one of them, which is at the beginning of this Ramayana. Remember we said the first house corresponds to first half of Balakand. Lord Shiva is giving this story to Mother Parvati. So he enjoys so much, he gives the entire katha to Mother Parvati, and then it is said, Lord Shiva can never get enough of Ram Katha. So he even heard it from sage Agastya, and he also went and listened to it from Kakabushundi. Why? Those who enjoy hearing that, they never ever get tired. We might think, oh, how is that possible? Let us think, for us worldly people, do we ever get tired of people saying nice things about us? No, I've heard too many nice things. We always want to hear. So, a wise person, they always are going on. They love listening to the katha of Ram. They never get tired. This Shravana, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is given. And then in the Navadha Bhakti, in Bhakti Marga also, it starts with Shravana. Listening to stories. See? Enjoy listening to those stories. Meaning, why is Shravana so important? Why is it given first? Because of all the senses, sound is most subtle. It has the biggest impact on us. In fact, it is said, if you are blind, it is still possible. In fact, it might even be easier to get moksha. If you cannot hear, it's difficult. Because so much of that sound, it does so many subtle things. It attracts in the personality. Don't worry, next life we'll get it. But that sound so important, so divine. Then one who always goes on listening to those stories, they never feel that they have listened to enough. They never feel satiated. They can go on hearing infinitely. Then, that is the first house, okay? Next one. Who's the next one? Lochana Chataka. Those who have lochan. Lochan means eyes. You know? Lochan, I also think this is a word very similar to in English. Lochana comes from the root luch. Luch means to see. Lochana means that which we use to see, eyes. So those lochana that are like that chataka. This chataka bird is a very famous one given in Ramcharitmanas and other places. The chataka bird is a very peculiar type of bird. It sits there and it's waiting for the first rain clouds that come during Swati Nakshatram. During that time, there's one special rain cloud that comes. And its eyes, it is only looking for that cloud, waiting. And when that particular cloud comes and gives that water, it is waiting to capture that first drop of water from that cloud during that particular period. It says, even though, right, Nidarahi, Sarita, Sindhu, Sarabhari. There are so many other sources of water, right? There are rivers, there's ocean, Sindhu, Sarabhari, so many different lakes and rivers and so many different types of water sources. Many other times it also rains. But this bird is sitting there waiting, looking, waiting only for that one. It doesn't want any other type. And when it gets that first drop, then it is satisfied. Therefore, the one who is not looking for all worldly fulfillment, all worldly pleasures, all worldly things, the eyes are waiting, thirsting. I will not look at anything. Just give me the sight, your darshan. So may you reside in the hearts of those whose eyes are like this chatak also. And they are waiting. Jaladhara means that cloud. Abhilashe, it is waiting. Now, something also interesting about the bird, It is one-sided love. That cloud does not necessarily know, but that bird, so loyal. So, it is not, saying, oh, only if you give, then I'll give. That love is not conditional in that way. So lovely. And eyes should be this way. So, started with sounds, ears, then moving to eyes. All our indriyas, okay? Then, tinake hridaya sadana sukhadayaka. In such, rupa bindu jala hoi sukhari. It becomes sukhari, satisfied, complete, only from that sight, that one sight, bindu, that alone. From that drop of that beauty of yours only satisfies them. That's the only vision that they want, okay? Tina ke hridaya sadana sukhadayak. In such hearts, in their hearts, you will be sukhadayak. It will be a comfortable place for you to stay. In another place, very famously it is given, where there is kama in the heart, Ram cannot be there. It's not a comfortable place for Bhagavan Shri Rama to stay. Someone puts us to stay in a room where there's a lot of other objects and there's no room on the bed also. In fact, if you have kids, their room just like that. You think, how are they even sleeping in this room? A friend was telling me his brother, he said one day his brother had to go for some camp, some scout program. So that whole night before, he was doing all the laundry and everything, and then it was a huge mess in the room. So next day he said, how did you even sleep in that room? You had things all over your bed everywhere. He said, I slept on the floor. There's no space also for me to sleep on the bed because it was so messy. So, when our heart is filled with so many different kamas, how can Rama stay there? So, Ram cannot stay there. And where there is Rama, no kama can stay there. When you have that love of Bhagavan Shri Rama, what other thing can fulfill us at that point? So nice. All other things, even all these Marvel movies, everything gets boring. But hearing Lord Ram, seeing his form, we never get tired. Basahu bandhu siya sahara gunayaka. You please go and stay there with your brother and Sita Devi. Now see if we have time for this one also. I think we do. Let us do this one. See, and we can see more tomorrow. जसु तुम्हार मानस बिमल हमसिनी जी हाँ जासु श्री राम मुकुटा हल गुण गण चुनई राम बसहु हियतासु श्री राम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Says, now the third house you may stay in Jasu Tumhar Manasa Bimala. You may stay in that one whose heart is like that Bimala Manas. Manasarovar lake, there's one lake there. So their mind is like that Manasarovar lake. And in that lake, it is Bimala. See, the translation here is holy Manasarovar. Holy, Bimala is a different meaning, huh? Bimala means without any defect, without any impurity at all. Completely pure. So their mind is like that Hamsa bird in that Manasarovar lake. Or their heart, however we want to see that, in that lake, that Hamsini, that female Hamsa, swan, is there. And what is she doing? She is Mukatahala. She's taking the pearls from that lake and taking those pearls, okay? In the same way, those who take the pearls of your gunas, all your good gunas, wonderful gunas, those who take them like that Hamsa bird takes from the lake, may you reside with them. May you reside with them in the heart of those. What is interesting is these 14 houses are given, but really it is the heart of the devotee. So one house, that heart, but it has so many different aspects. And in these aspects, we will see every aspect of bhakti. How to get bhakti, what is a bhakta, what is bhakti itself, all of these questions, we just think on these verses a little bit, they all become answered. So we will see more tomorrow. There's actually very nice reflection even on this Hamsa bird, but we will do that tomorrow. Okay? Now we'll sing, before we have Aarti, take a moment and sing bhajan. So in the packet you will see on the first page, there is Rama Raghava. Let us sing that together. Rama Raghava Jaya Sita Nayaka
Rama Raghava Jaya Sita Nayaka
Rama Raghava Jaya Sita Nayaka
Raghava Jaya Sita Nayaka
Rama Raghava Rajiva Lochana Kamita Phalada Karivarada
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 Krishna Keshava Jai Gopi Madhava
Krishna Keshava Jaya Gopi Madhava
Krishna Keshava Jai
केशवा जय गोपी माधवा
कृष्ण केशव अम्बुजलोचन वाञ्छित फलदा यदुवरद
कृष्ण केशव अम्बुजलोचन वाञ्छित फलदा यदुवरदा
कृष्ण केशव अम्बुजलोचन वाञ्छित फलदा यदुवरदा
कृष्ण केशव अम्बुजलोचन वाञ्छित फलदा यदुवरदा
राम राघव जय सीता नायक
राम राघव जय सीता नायक
कृष्ण केशव जय गोपी माधव
कृष्ण केशव जय गोपी माधव
सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय
श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की
जय
Wonderful. Now please do stand for Aarti.
So, Vaijayanti ji will be bringing another plate, so people can line up and offer Aarati from here itself, while we will be singing. Whoever knows can please sing along. You can pull it up, Sri Ramayan ji ki Aarati. You can pull it up on your phone. Thank you. Ready? आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि सारद, बाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद, सुख सनकादिशेष अरु सारद, बरनि पवन सुत कीरति नीकी, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश, छहो शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस, मुनि जन धन संतन को सरबस, सार अंश सम्मत सब ही की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, गावत संतत शंभु भवानी, अरुघट संभव मुनि विज्ञानी, व्यास आदि कवि बर्ज बखानी, काग भुसुंडी गरुड़ के ही की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कलिमल हरणी विषय रस की, कलिमल हरणी
विषय रस भीगी सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की दलन रोग भव भूरि अमी की दलन रोग भव भूरि अमी की तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की कीरति ललित ललित सियपी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की
त्वमेव माता च
पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव
ॐ पूर्णमदः
पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की
जय
यावर रामचंद्र की
जय
श्री पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय
Thank you everyone.
Okay. We have a couple of announcements. Tomorrow, the time is from 4:30 to 6. And 4:15 to 4:30, we'll have bhajans, followed by the talk from 4:30 onwards.
And dinner.
Yes, followed by tomorrow and day after, we'll have sit-down dinner. We'll have opportunity to have satsang with Akalka ji. There is and on Sunday we have the opportunity to offer Samashti Bhiksha. There's a sign-up sheet out there. So if you feel like bringing something, please sign your name up there. And today on the way out, you can pick up boxed. Sunday timing 4:30 to 6. Saturday and Sunday 4:30 to 6.
Can the setup remain?
Hari Om, you can let the chairs be. You can let the chairs, the floor seating as well as the chairs be, because they will meet here tomorrow also. Thank you.